Yeah, between two burns. Between two burns, yeah, between two burns. Come and join the convo. Jason and Ethan here to talk, yo. Chillin' while we filling up the room with cigar smoke. Hey, between two burns. Between two burns, yeah, between two burns. This be the show that you like. We always keeping it hype. We got cigars and a mic, talking the pipe and the pint. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Between Two Burns, first episode of the new year.
New year, same us. We don't believe in that new year, new me thing.
You don't like New Year, New Me?
No, man.
You're basically New Year, New You.
I did that last year.
2026, the year of regression. We're going back, baby. We're going back. 2026, holidays are over. We're back to the grind. And we're back to the grind in a big way. We talked about this a little bit. People watching on YouTube are going to notice something a little different. We are temporarily set up in our new permanent home. We're not yet moved in here, but things are coming along awesome. This is not going to be, although we're going to have a permanent setup for our podcast going forward here, this is not that location. So
No.
if it looks a little thin on decoration, that's true. You've got just a plain green wall behind you and a couple plain chairs.
You should have got your wife in here to make us a podcast set up real quick.
Yeah,
really.
yeah, we'll get it. If you're used to seeing the snowman in the background, we'll get it back over. I'm gonna move the snowman. I got to.
Yeah, you got to.
Yeah, I got to move the snowman over. But yeah, we are in the new space. We're back here in the corner of the lounge, just set up real quick to be able to do this. And we had staff meeting right here the other day. I think everybody was stoked about it. And I'm super excited.
Well, I told someone earlier today, a customer that was asking about the new place, he's a High Point guy, and he said, I heard y'all christen the lounge the other night. And I was like, yeah, we did at our team meeting here, but it was nice to be able to sit down in the lounge, smoke a cigar, and see the vision.
Yeah.
Right? You could just see the people walking around,
and
the
I feel like you
happenings
could.
and everything.
You could hear the music in the background.
Yeah,
you could
that's
see the
exactly
people,
right.
hey, hey, what's up?
Yep.
And like from where we're sitting is a cool spot when these are set up in the orientation that they will be, because like from where I'm sitting right now, I can see the door to the humidor. I can see the end of the bar. I could see somebody walking into the front door right now, which is actually going to be unique. I think this actually, when this rotates around in its permanent position, which will be a little bit farther out and facing that direction, you very well may be able to see the front door. This could be the
employee
spot, the employee on duty spot
coming to my office.
I see the door open, bam, hop up. Yeah, take a step back to my office with me real quick.
Yeah.
But we're super excited. Anybody thinking about when is this going to happen or anything? We're working on it. We have ideas of time, areas that we'd like to be in towards the end of February, I think is realistic. But that's certainly not written in stone either that we're going to be able to do that. But things are moving along. I've told a lot of people, basically this space will be ready to go in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I know like rugs are getting delivered tomorrow. We have a lot of the other furniture just needs to be put together. That's ready to go. The plan to put the exhaust and stuff in is in place. And the humidor is ready to be shelved and everything like that. This could literally be done and ready to go with a couple weeks of busy work, running around, cleaning up and everything like that, and hanging pictures. It always looks weird without the artwork and stuff on the walls, filling the space. The TVs, behind us, if we're doing this again, there'd be 2 TVs right here, 2 TVs over there. That's not great for somebody who's just listening to this podcast in their car with the orientation, the diagram description. But
there are 4 TVs though.
Yeah, 4 big old TVs that we're doing. As you know, TVs are basically disposable now.
They really are. It's weird, man.
55-inch Insignia, $199. Wow. It's wild.
Yeah.
Wow. Smart TV, bro. Built in.
Roku.
Fire TV on that one, I think. No, it is Roku, I think, actually.
Okay.
It don't matter.
Yeah.
It all turns YouTube TV on.
That's
So
exactly.
it
Does what it's supposed to do.
But we're super excited. We can't wait to get people in here. We're going to open quietly. Like we're probably going to close the shop on a Saturday night, move on a Sunday, and open back up on a Monday, that kind of thing. And then I think when the weather starts to turn, we'll have our official coup de grace re-grand opening kind of event and party. but it's going to be turn one light off and turn another light on pretty quickly. So we're excited about it. But holidays were good. Holidays were good. Sales were good. Lots of good stuff. We're through. I told you just a minute ago, we're gonna, we'll do a little recap and everything like that. It was fantastic. Christmas and football season's going strong. Our boy David Gillette's been rooting the Miami Hurricanes on, and NFL's kicked off the playoffs. So there's not other than that, it's kind of what takes the cake right now post Christmas, right? Like we don't have any. We talked about staffing. There's no new cigars coming to our knowledge of that, at least of what we carry. That it'd be super looking for onesie twosies, but it's going to be quiet, I think, on that front up until end of April. May?
Probably.
End of April is trade show, right? We'll be in New Orleans. Do some live from the NOLA type of pods like we did last year. It was a lot of fun. We'll do that again. I actually could try to book us maybe the same spot, which would be sick.
Yeah.
Or something like it, that kind of thing. So we're excited for that. This episode's going to be fun. So we want to do something a little different. So if you're a cigar person, which the odds are that you are.
If you aren't, what are you doing?
Yeah, well, why are you listening? I appreciate you listening, but why are you listening to Between Two Burns? I guess it's just to see our beautiful faces.
Hear our sensual voices.
Yeah, sensual voices. Baby. If you're in the know, the big thing that comes out the end of the year are top 25 lists. And like it or not, the most famous or infamous top 25 list is Cigar Aficionados. And they skated by for years, in my opinion, because nobody really pushed back. But with the advent of content creation and podcasts, guys like us and others who are in the cigar business have a platform to push back a little bit on the thing. We're not going to spend a ton of time on it. You've probably seen it already. I think we'll pull it up and recap a little bit. Our biggest issue, at least my biggest issue, is the rehash of cigars every year. Because I don't understand how Oliva V Milanio can be on the list every year, basically, but the cigar that was number one last year is not on the list. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. That kind of thing. I'm sure they'll give some sort of explanation as to why they do it like that, and I'm sure it's a bunch of
I was thinking about it. I wonder if it's almost like a wine vintages thing. Why isn't Double Diamond, if Double Diamond 2019 was wine of the year, why isn't 2020 wine of the year? The answer would be, it's a different vintage, it's a different crop and everything. So I kind of understand it from that perspective, but like we talked about on maybe it was the previous podcast, cigars aren't vintaged. So like it doesn't make sense. But that would be the only that's the only thing that makes sense to me.
They're not vintaged, and I don't know that they're...
There should be more consistent.
I feel like there's more consistency.
Yes, I agree with you.
And less discrepancy between them. But, which then also begs the case is like, you're agreed, but then why is EPC's Encore with a few years of aging on it not on there? Because I bet you that if you had one from that, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's fair. I didn't think about that.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but we're going to do something on our own this year, which I think will be fun. But we'll get to it. But for those listening, if you don't think I do want to recap top 25.
Yeah.
So let's pull it up and go through. We do know, I'll spoil it now if you haven't heard. Number one is Padron's 60th, correct?
Yes.
We kind of called it. We thought it was going to be a Padron. And I'll say this, that in my opinion is a worthy of a number one cigar.
We're having technical difficulties at the moment because my phone disconnected from your hotspot. One moment, please.
Yep.
There's a Verizon outage right now for those of you listening who deal with that. My phone is not working.
Verizon.
Well, we may be briefly recapping this because your phone's not popping back up as a hotspot.
That's all right.
So, all right. Well,
no big deal.
Yeah, no big deal.
But here's what I'll say. So we know that Padron 60th was the number one cigar.
Interesting note on the Padron 60, and that's how I realized my phone wasn't on your hotspot anymore. To my knowledge, they didn't specify whether it was natural or Maduro, which is weird. The picture looked natural, in my opinion. I just looked at it again before my phone reset the webpage. But that matters, in my opinion.
It matters very much because it matters very much about what we're about to do next.
Yeah. So that was weird. You obviously had your what's the word I'm looking for? Your Cuban on there, right? Your token Cuban. That's the word I was looking for.
Which I also have an issue with.
Yep.
And it's not because well, this is going to sound half-hearted, but it is because it is specifically Cuban. But that publication is primarily consumed in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a fact. And that's a cigar that is beyond being limited to people in the United States. Like if it's a limited edition cigar or whatever, it's illegal to be sold here.
Yeah.
So it's like, and I get giving those types of cigars accolades are a good thing. I just think you probably could separate the list.
Yeah, I do too. And we talked about this before. It's so formulaic the way that aficionado works. Because if the Padron had gotten number 2, we'd have looked at each other and said, all right, it's Cuban's year to get number 1.
Yeah.
Right? Just like we said Padron was going to get number 1. We weren't 100% sure if it was 60 or black, but Padron's in the top 10 every single year, and they were the one that hadn't been listed yet, so it was just kind of like, yeah, it's probably Padron.
It seemed fairly obvious.
Yep. Because we know in the top 10, Rocky Patel Emerald was in there.
Which I'm fine with.
Yep.
There was a new cigar last year, right at the beginning of the year. It's good.
Yep.
That's how I think the list should be done.
Sure. Yep.
I think it should be only releases in that year. I don't mind if it's a redux in that year, like it was re-released or a limited edition that gets released once a year, every year. You could go back to that because that could very much be a difference in quote unquote vintages because you're doing them in a period of time. But I just don't understand the rehashing. That's my biggest bear.
No, I don't either. And then I think there was a Fuente, maybe it was an Opus, or I don't know, Diamond Crown. There's always your Newman. The ones that weren't in there this year that were interesting in the top 10 anyways was there was no Oliva, I don't think, and there was no EPC, which again...
There was no EPC on the list, period.
Which is fascinating.
It fascinated me. And then the Oliva was on there, but it was like...
It wasn't top 10. It was
No,
down,
it was not top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It took until... I think like 14 or 15 for like a boutique cigar to come up, which is frustrating because we know that boutique companies can't afford to advertise, and we conspiracy theory that advertising dollars play a big deal into this. Now, don't know if that's true, but that's our conspiracy.
Yep.
But I know like One Off Black and Tan was on the list in the Toro size at number 20. That's a cigar that came out this past year. It was an awesome cigar that I thought was deserving to be on that list, right? I think the Aladino 85th anniversary may have been number 25. Don't hold me to that. I feel like that was on there. Like that's another one that was great. But the other problem I have with this is it's the same thing that when the Bull got number 1 and Don Carlos Eye of the Shark got number 1, the Padron 60 is a Salomon. They know like they say they smoke the cigars unbanded and blind, and it's like, yeah, you can smoke cigars unbanded and blind, but if it's the only Salomon there and you know it's a Salomon, like you know what the cigar is. Same thing with like a cigar being box pressed like the Pledge was, or it's just, I don't know. It's really frustrating the way that they do it. Now, I will say, I feel like they're starting to lose the grasp on whether or not their list affects sales at all. Because I've only personally taken one phone call this year since the list came out asking if we had Padron 60.
Yeah, and interestingly, what we did have that showed up on the list, 15 Viajes 15 and a half. Is that what it is? Or 15 5 and a half, or
I think
15
it was
2 and a half.
15 plus 2.5 silver. That was that
we
was
actually happen to have it
15.
in stock, and we sold the rest of the ones we had 24 hours with it being announced, which was unique.
So I wonder if people are analyzing the list these days kind of like we do, where they're looking for the one-off stuff, it's not a big name, it must be good.
I don't know that they're analyzing the list, period.
And that
I think just
also
other lists hold.
Yeah.
If you're a cigar person, you're that much into it, I think you go to other places. We're about to give, excuse me, at least 20 cigars that we feel are worthy of being on that list. We are going to, Cigar Snob has their list. Half Wheel has their personal list, and then Half Wheel does their consensus list, which a lot of people lean on, which I think is a good list. It takes into account basically most major publications lists. and applies a kind of a point system to it and comes up with their 25. I think that's super reliable. Now that it is taking into account aficionados list, but I think more and more of these are done in the way that we like it done, which is released in the last 14 months or 12 months.
I can't think of any prominent list outside of aficionados that isn't cigars that came out this year. Like, I think even Cigar Snob is cigars that came out this year. Like, I'm pretty sure they gave Blue #1.
Cigar Snob gave Blue #1, I believe. #1 or #2.
Yeah.
And then somebody else gave. There's another publication. Let's say Cigar Snob did give Blue #1. Then somebody else gave it #2. And I don't know where Half Wheel yet is on their consensus, but with that being the case, I can guarantee you My Father Blue is going to be near the top of that list.
Yeah, well, and it goes to, like, Half Wheel had their Reader's Choice Award, which is always telling.
That was an interesting list. That was My Father Blue was in the 5.
Yep. Perdomo Legacy, CLE Maduro, Blackworks, something or another, and then Sober Mesa Red
was and then Celio was one of them as well.
Was it?
Yeah, Sober Mesa Red was 1, Celio was 2, Shade Grown Legacy was 3 or 4, and then there's something else we carry. I don't know.
I'd love to have my phone right now to look at all these stuff. This is poorly done analytics, but it's not our fault.
Stat guy.
Yeah. But yeah, it's always interesting. People, the best cigar that I smoked this year was probably something that came out this year. That's not always the case, but even in this list of what we've got and, what we're going to be doing today, it's all stuff that came out this past year. Like, I don't understand how something can be Cigar of the Year, Wine of the Year, whatever, if it didn't come out that year.
Yeah.
Like, if you smoked a 20-year-old Cuban, like the year that we smoked those 20-year-old Cubans down in Southport, that was the best cigar that we smoked that year.
Oh,
but, that's one of the best cigars we smoked ever.
Life, yeah.
But, we're not giving that Cigar of the Year. So anyways, this is rambling about the insanity of this. But anyways, you want to get into what we're doing today?
Yep. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to pick 10 cigars each. We have a list of roughly 42 cigars, I think, that we came up with that are released certainly in the last 14 months. I think there's a couple that probably get a little leeway at the end of last year, which is fine.
Yep.
And we're going to do this draft style.
Snake draft?
Snake draft.
We decided on?
Snake draft. And they don't have to be in any particular order. The first pick you take doesn't have to be your quote unquote #1. It could just be what you're trying to make sure is on your team, on your list. And what we're going to do is we'll put these lists out to our customer base, Instagram poll or whatever it is, and they're going to narrow it down to 5. Okay. And from either list, your top 5 votes become our 5 nominations for Cigar of the Year for the Stogie Awards. Stogies. We think our customer base is knowledgeable enough to get. Wait, do we think our customer base is knowledgeable?
I don't know. We did that mailbag thing.
Yeah, the mailbag thing was a huge disappointment on the questions. Those five will be our nominees. And my guess is it's going to be pretty close to what you and I thought would be the 5. So we'll let ours, and then we will be tasked with choosing Cigar of the Year from those 5.
Yep. One thing I will say about this list, these are all cigars that came out this past year, but there are some cigars on here that were reduxes or new sizes of blends that have been released before.
Yeah.
But they were reduxed as of last year, so that is the only caveat to this list. But I'd say the 95% of them are cigars that had never been out before and came out last year. So,
okay. So snake draft. Okay, we'll put a little graphic.
Yeah.
If you're on YouTube, there's a graphic right here with the draft picks. We'll put it up there. I just made more work for myself.
You did.
But that's fine. That's fine. And we'll go over them a little bit. And, the ones that we feel like I talked about, I feel like, at least on our list, most of these things came through our store.
Yeah, I only
sans a couple.
yeah we put
And
a
that's
couple
no surprise.
on
I mean, we carry lots of stuff. Actually, one thing that's not on here, and you have to tell me if it was a new cigar. It'll be interesting if you want to add it or not, because I haven't smoked it. We carry the company. We don't carry the cigar, but it goes back to aficionados list, which was the AJ Fernandez, the goat.
Oh, the Nasser the Goat.
Yes.
First of all, that I'm 99% sure didn't come out last year.
Yeah.
The
reason
but I've also not smoked it, so
I haven't smoked it. And the reason I brought that up is the one thing I learned about Cigar Aficionado when they put that on there, it came in at like number 8, 7 or 8. First time AJ Fernandez in the top 10. That's wild to me.
Wild.
Yep. I don't know if was it 20 or 25th? What was the anniversary?
20th.
20th. I can't remember if it made their list or not.
I don't think it did.
That was a top 10 cigar. I'm sorry. That just was.
Yep.
That was our cigar of the year last year, right?
It was.
Yeah. We're rambling. Okay. So in light of football getting ready to wrap down, that's going to be draft time soon enough or whatever. We're going to do our favorite thing, which is snake draft. And because I am a great man, a great general manager, a great person, a great boss, a great friend.
You're taking the first pick
father.
because I want you to have it.
No, you get the first pick. You get the big one. We're going snake style. You get 1, I get 2, 3. You get 3, 4. We're doing it like that. Do you have your paperwork ready?
I do. All right. Well, first pick of the 2025 Cigar of the Year. I'm going to take the cigar. I'm taking a different little bit of approach here. All right.
Yeah. So take any approach you want.
Yep.
This could be, I want this cigar on my list to make
Yep.
sure I've got it or whatever.
I'm taking the cigar that I probably smoked the most of last year. That is in the top 3 of favorite cigars that came out last year. And some days it goes back and forth. This cigar is normally number 1, but I've found another couple that I like maybe a little bit more on any given day. But this is one of the best, if not the best cigars that came out last year. And that, to your no surprise, is the Perdomo Legacy Shade Grown.
Yeah. All right. Okay. That's an excellent pick. Maybe what I would have taken number 1 as well. And whether or not it ends up being cigar of the year from us, I don't know. But we've rehashed this cigar quite a few times on there. It's awesome.
Yeah, and I mean, first of all, the whole line is awesome, which is rare, right? But the Shade Grown specifically, there's a couple reasons I picked it. One, it has the wrapper leaf on it, right? So the wrapper leaf is what makes the cigar special. The Connecticut and the Maduro use the wrapper leaf as the binder. The wrapper leaf, though, being the Corojo Cameroon hybrid wrapper leaf that's shade grown instead of sun grown. So it bucked the trend of Perdomo. But it was also something different. You know, Nick Jr. and Arthur blended it to honor Nick Perdomo's legacy. But I will be the first person to say this and tell a customer this. I like Perdomo, but I don't love Perdomo.
Yeah, understood.
I think they serve a great purpose in the market, but I do not gravitate to their cigars. I will smoke one if I'm given one, and I will enjoy it, but you're never going to see me really grabbing a Perdomo out of the humidor to smoke at my leisure. This cigar changed that for me. I remember smoking it after we got back from the show, the sample.
Yep.
It was like my 3rd cigar of the day. It was, I think, on a Saturday, and I texted you and Robbie and said, this is something special. And the pre-release was just as good as the regular release, and every single time I've smoked it since then, it's been consistent. It's been good. The construction's been good. The burn's been good. The flavor's fantastic. This was Cigar Coop's number 1 cigar of the year.
Oh, was it really?
It
I hadn't
was.
checked his list yet.
Yep, this was Cigar
Great.
Coop's number 1 cigar of the year.
Excellent.
This was in the Half Wheel Reader consensus top 5 cigars of the year.
Did one of these make aficionado? I can't remember.
No.
It didn't?
No, I don't. I wish my phone worked. If
That's all
it
right.
did,
That's all right.
I don't remember it, but I'm 99% sure
We'll
it did
confirm
not.
that for anybody listening. You'll hear it when we.
Yeah, it's insanity. But I mean, this cigar obviously has sold well for us, and obviously, you know, we've talked about how well Perdomo sells in our stores. But like I said, I respect what Perdomo does, but it doesn't fit my palate. But this does. I mean, this cigar was spectacular, and it really changed the game and the way that they do things, the innovation of it, the blending of it. I mean, I love it.
Here's what I like. I love the cigar. Love it. If we were doing this maybe as like number one, this is, the number one pick, could very well be the case. I like it when a company takes what they do really, really well, which is Perdomo is unbelievable quality control, unbelievable consistency, right? And delivers it, but then takes what they do well, and then also go outside the box a little bit.
Yeah.
That's what, when you say that, I think is what you do, because it's not, they have a tendency to run together a little bit with Perdomo. Not everything, and I'm not saying that, and it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. If you like Perdomo, you're going to like everything up and down the list. But if you love Perdomo, you might not like this cigar. And that's okay, because it's something a little different, something unique, something that hadn't been done by them before, pushing some boundaries and limits for what, whatever that means in the cigar industry, right? Great job. Great first pick. Okay. So I'm going back to back. So now we're going to play a little chess here and see, because then something coming back to me later and we think, I'm taking these headphones off, my bad. All right. My first pick, which is the second pick overall, I think it's going to be no surprise here. And the hype has lived up to expectations, but I am taking the My Father Blue. And there's all sorts of reasons. So rarely does a cigar explode in popularity so quickly. There's limited editions where you say like, oh, we only made X boxes, and then the boxes are distributed out to all the stores across the country, and then whatever happens to them is like, oh, but we sold out of them, which is true. Right? You got them out to your stores and everything like that. That doesn't necessarily mean that they all flew off all the shelves in all the stores. I have not heard from anyone that we know in the cigar business who sells it, or the representation from My Father, Jamie, who works with us, who hasn't said that this thing is flying off of everybody's shelf. It has. We cannot keep it in stock. Yeah. As soon as it comes in, it goes right back out. Now, there's a catch-22 to that, which is My Father's trying to keep up with that demand, right? Because this is a quote-unquote core product. This is supposed to be on the shelves all the time. And that will, that kind of demand is, unsustainable, right? With core production numbers, right? There's always like demand for LFD and illusion bowls, but that's because the supply is still core, whatever you want to call it, but supply is limited. The supply is not supposed to be limited going forward on this blue. So you will see it be able to be a ready stocked product, but man, and it's good. It's really, really, really good. I'm not a huge Honduran fan. I like Hondurans that are done well, and this Honduran is done exceptionally well, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think there's two things. One, you can apply the same logic that you applied to the Perdomo with a company bucking the trend of what they normally do and doing something different to this, right? Because it's My Father's first Honduran cigar out of their new Honduran factory. Very different flavor profile from what people are used to from them. So I think there's that. But also, one of the most telling signs for me about this cigar is Jamie telling us that she had people getting her contact information off of My Father's website, customers, and calling her to find out what stores may have it in stock.
That's wild.
Which means it's not available online. Everywhere is sold out.
Yep.
Every local store is sold out. Every secondary store is sold out. They may get lucky, but they not only were they looking for it, they were willing to drive for it. And that is just, I can't remember a cigar that wasn't a limited edition that had that kind of.
I can't remember a cigar that was limited edition that had that kind of.
Yeah, I mean, that's insanity.
Some of the Opus, we had a lot of people reach out about some of the new Opus release types of stuff, some stuff that's on here. So we'll get to those when we get to them. But it's wild.
Yeah.
It's wild. And
And I mean, we smoked it at the show, and we both thought it was really good.
we both thought it was really good. But I will say both of us, and I definitely know you did, because I think you smoked it before me, because I think I had to go off
did.
and you were there. When I came back, you said this is going to be up there. This is going to be wildly popular. Like, you knew right after smoking it, like, this is going to be a hit.
Yeah, it's funny because the two cigar standouts at the show that were cigars that we carried were the Legacy
Or the first two.
and the Blue.
Yeah.
It's funny though because it's a great pick. It would have been my second pick too. But I was more excited about the Blue at the show, but after I got back and smoked it, I was more excited about the Legacy, which is personal preference, right?
Yeah, sure.
That is just personal preference, flavor profile, because they're both fantastic and they both deserve to be on the list. And if they're both not in the consensus one way or another, I will be dumbfounded.
Yeah, I mean, well, we've seen enough of the lists. If you just personally are adding a point value, you can know that they're both going to be on there. And I think they're both going to be very high. And there's a chance that one of them is consensus one. I think there's a chance that My Father Blue is consensus one.
Yep. I feel like My Father Blue would be more likely to be consensus one. If we were putting a betting favorite here, I would.
Yeah.
You know,
If we're talking between the two of these,
we're talking
sure.
like, minus 150 for Blue versus like plus 180 for Legacy, just because it's My Father versus Perdomo. But
yeah,
I mean,
Are those odds on FanDuel?
They are. We're partners.
Undoubtedly,
Yep.
undoubtedly. So
this is where things get interesting because
So
I assumed that would be your first pick.
right. These two being the first two off the board,
Don't shock
not
me.
a surprise.
Everything else
So now
after
we're going to
this
get a little
is
cagey
going to
because
be
I want to
the
make
fun.
sure certain things are on my list,
Yep.
even if people don't put anything of mine in the top five, which
Yep.
now I know they will
Yep.
because My Father Blue's going in that top
Yep.
five, whether you like it or not. Could it be one for them, one for me type of thing. This could be something I could get a pick or two later, but I want it on my roster.
Okay.
I'm trying to read your mind here because I want to make sure. I'm gonna change my mind.
Oh,
I'm
boy.
changing my mind. I'm gonna get really cagey. I'm going with Foundation's 10th anniversary.
Damn it.
Yeah, I thought that might be the case. Foundation
Damn
10th. Awesome cigar. Awesome presentation, which doesn't necessarily help its case, but it doesn't hurt its case.
Yeah.
Highly anticipated and comes through.
Yeah. It's funny. So when we got it, we didn't get many of them, right? For variety of reasons, limited edition, the AJ Fires, whole 9 yards. And when we got it, I smoked it the day we got it in, and I thought it was awesome. But it was the day we got it in, right? Hadn't had time to sit in the humidor, acclimate, or anything like that. And it was going to be in my top 10 cigars of the year personally.
Yeah.
But it was like
I thought it might be
7, 8, 9.
Oh, okay.
But on Saturday, our good friend producer Greg was at the store, and he is a employee of Foundation, and he had a box of Foundation 10th anniversary upstairs, and he said, "Hey man, you want to smoke a Foundation 10th?" And I said, "Yes, I sure do." And I smoked that thing Saturday, and it was unbelievable and catapulted itself into the top 5, if not top 3. So that would have been my next pick.
Would it really?
Yes, it would have been.
Okay. That's fantastic. Because now I may be owning the draft right now. I may be owning the draft because I've got a plan. I mean, you call me John Lynch right now. I'm just making moves, baby. I'm gonna hire John Harbaugh in just a minute here.
Yeah, I mean it's an awesome cigar, and it was innovative too. Which now that we're talking about it, innovative is what we wanted this past year.
We talked about it before the year. Yes.
That's what these 3 cigars did. So it's ironic that there are first 3 picks off the board because the Foundation 10th was a hybrid between Connecticut broadleaf and Havana seed.
So 2 things we talked about starting the year that we really wanted people to focus on. We were a little sick of the limited releases. Now, to be fair, Foundation 10th was a limited release, but it is an anniversary. It's a legitimate anniversary. It's not 11th or
15 plus 2.5.
15 plus 2.5 or your grandma's 80th, whatever. Okay. Well, what was the one thing we talked about big time coming out into the year that the first 2 products are?
Focus on core.
They're
And
core products.
core products, and then the consistency. And
These are 2 cigars that we think the first 2 we picked could be cigar of the year for us and others. And the intention of them is to be on the shelf all the time. And the beauty is we've been able to get our legacy when we need our legacy.
yeah,
It's a little bit tougher with the blue, but that will come. But these are core everyday products where if you want to come in and get something that knocks your socks off, you're just like, hell yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Up there on the list, cigar of the year, bam.
yeah, and it's funny because I like one of those more than the other. I like them both a lot, though. But if one got it over the other one, if Half Wheel Consensus was one of those 2 cigars, I'm happy. Like they're both that good and that deserving.
You wouldn't be like, what the hell?
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
ridiculous.
Exactly.
You would not be like, it wouldn't be unwarranted.
Yep.
All right, pick number. So you got your back-to-back picks 4 and so your second and third pick, but picks 4 and 5 here.
See, you're playing chess now, and I
am
don't
playing
know.
chess.
I was anticipating. I am playing checkers.
I put you in a mental body
You
bag.
did, because now I'm trying to think about
It
what
can change.
you
It
might
can
pick
change.
next. And all right, what I'm just gonna pick what I was gonna pick. This is my underrated cigar of the year.
I know what the cigar is going to be.
Because this company does a terrible job marketing and has rebranded
yeah.
and just is terrible, but it's one of my favorites, and that's the Illusione Epernay Tunella.
Yeah, I could have called that. Good pick. I have smoked this. Yes, I have. I'm sorry.
So, the Epernay line's been around for a long time, and it's very medium. It used to be better, in my opinion, than it is now. It's still a good cigar. So when they announced this cigar, I wasn't overly excited because it's San Andreas, Nicaraguan binder and filler, and then I smoked it and thought it was awesome. Our good friend Leisure Leaf Mike, I asked him what his cigar of the year was. This was it. This was his favorite cigar that came out this past year. So this is as much a pick for him as it is for me.
Wow. Consensus.
I love this cigar. Now, the one thing I will say about this cigar that is different from the blue and the Perdomo, this cigar is a little size specific for me. I do not like the Toro as much as I like the 2 Coronas.
Okay.
So if I had to pick, if it was this, it would be the La Ferme size, which I think is like 6.5 by 48 size, or somewhere around there, maybe 46. I think it's the best size. I like it the most. If I had to pick the Toro, it may be down this list a little bit, but that one, size specific, is one of the best cigars that Illusione has done in a long time.
Yeah, it's great. No notes. Like, it's awesome. Cool. It's awesome cigar. I just wish there was, and he doesn't want to, and it's fine. That brand could be so massive. Mm-hmm. I just feel like they were on a track and they kind of veered off, and whether that was intentional or not, I can't answer that, and that's their business. So the cigar is awesome. And they're just, it's not the only thing that they have potentially on our list, right?
The one off Black and Tan Toro may be on here.
Yeah, I think it is. Somewhere.
Yeah,
it's on there somewhere.
But yeah, I mean, the Tunella, I thought it was innovative. Like, it was, because my concern with it when I first found out about it is that it was going to be a medium-bodied Maduro coming out of Illusione. It's not. It's medium full, borderline full. Yeah. Like, it's not. It has the Epernay name, but it doesn't have the Epernay body to it, and so that's another reason I liked it. But moving on, this will be pick number.
It's your third pick.
3. Yeah. And I am really torn here.
Yeah, I'd hate to have you just hand me a gift.
And this may shock some people, but I am not going to put a Tatuaje in my top 3. I thought about it.
Okay.
But I want this on my team. And I'm going New World Decenio.
Oh, boy. Now we are playing mental gymnastics here right now.
Yeah. So,
full disclosure, that was coming from me.
Yeah.
In the next round.
So the Decenio, it was the 10th anniversary of the New World. When we heard about it, I was just like, all right, this is going to be another New World. New Worlds are good, but like they're just kind of, they are what they are. They're good price point, good value cigars coming out of AJ.
Yep.
This cigar is full. Like this is the reason I picked this is because I think this is the best full-bodied cigar that came out last year. If you like strong cigars,
It's for you.
this
for
is your
sure.
cigar.
And I don't care for super strong cigars, and even I like this cigar a lot. It's not going to be what I go to smoke all the time, but I can recognize what is good. Another core, right?
Yep.
And high demand.
Yep.
High demand from customers.
Yeah.
Well done. Great packaging.
Yep.
Great look to it. Awesome.
Yep. And, you know, the cigar is, I think, reasonably priced as well, because the other thing I was concerned about it when I saw it was the price point, because it's a little bit more expensive than the regular New World stuff.
Yep.
You know, it falls in that $13 to $15 price point, but I think it delivers on that. I think it's something that, like, AJ's known for full-bodied and spice, but it's not just that. It's got complexity to it. It's balanced with spice and sweetness. I've smoked a lot of them, and that is why I wanted it on my list, though, is because I thought it was the best full-bodied cigar to come out last year.
100%. This list is taking shape nicely. Absolutely. Would have 100% been in one of my next two picks for sure. Okay, so it's me now. So I'm let's see. This is my third and fourth picks for my list.
Yep.
I'm gonna go. Let me check somewhere. We're gonna fill some dead air. So just if you're listening, you'd be thinking, maybe you're trying to take a guess here. I had a plan here, and I think I'm still on it. Let me check where.
This is what's fun about the draft. We're doing it
Yeah.
on the fly. Everybody's
Yeah.
got a plan until you
Yeah,
don't.
you got to plan until it hits you in the face.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
First of these two picks, maybe a little off your radar, I think. Maybe, I don't know if it would have been on your list or not, but I do want it on there. I do think it needs to be recognized. I'm taking the Aganorsa 25th anniversary.
It would have been on my list. I was hoping to get it a little bit later.
Yeah, understood.
Not because it's bad. It was a great cigar.
Great cigar.
But why'd you take it? Why'd you take it 3 at that?
I wanted it on my team. I think it's worthy of being of one of these 20 cigars. Probably could have got it a little bit later. I don't know if it would end up being in the 5 for everybody. I loved it a lot. I thought they did a great job with it. I think there were some things that you could knock on it that we were a little disappointed maybe because there was some quality control issues with some of the early ones that we smoked on it, but is an excellent example of what Aganorsa does really well. Again, packaging was super good on it. Loved it. It was high demand when it came in. Price point was up there on it. I'm trying to remember, but in the grand scheme of thing of limiteds, it wasn't too bad. But
that is the one reason that I was hoping to get it later. And honestly, I think it's deserving to be up towards the top sans the price point. I didn't love the price point. It was $30.
Yeah.
It was $30. Now, this $30 falls into the trap, and this is not a knock on Aganorsa. I understand why they did it. They wanted it to be special. They had the boxes for the cigars made at the factory in Spain that makes the boxes for the Cohiba Bajique. I would have rather them put the cigar in their regular Aniversario boxes and
disagree.
it bid $20.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Versus the extra money that was spent on the
packaging. I don't know
packaging.
what that added to the price, or if the price was that because they felt like a limited needed to be that price. But if that would be if we knew that was the case, I agree with you. Like the packaging looked great, had a certificate of authenticity in it.
Yeah,
it
was very Cuban.
It was very
classy.
Yep.
I respect it. They did a good job with it, but that would be that, and the quality control would be my 2 knocks on the cigar.
Yep. All right, so that's that pick. Next pick is, let me pass you the lighter. I'm contemplating making a move, but I think I can make a judgment call here. This might surprise you. I didn't smoke this that much, but loved it from the very first time I had it. And this is in your wheelhouse, but not as much mine was the company wise, everything like that. I'm taking the Tat 7th Corojo.
Damn it. Mr. Chess over here.
I'm playing chess, baby. Chess, not checkers. Corojo is peppery. It was very much what I like personally from Tatuaje. It felt and smoked very Tatuaje. It came out early in the year, right? Because we smoked it at the trade show. So I guess it was probably middle of the year in reality when we actually got it. Lived up, just super rock solid, great cigar.
Yep. Corline, that Corojo wrapper's great. $10. Good price point.
Great price.
It was probably my favorite cigar that we smoked at the show of things that we carry, right? I mean, that was the first cigar we smoked at the trade show. It set the bar pretty high.
It set the bar pretty high.
Yeah.
It was a trade show to really be impressed with.
Yeah, it was a good trade show.
You had that, had the legacies, had the blues, Decennial, all those things. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he did a good job with it. And it makes that wrapper leaf more accessible. Plus, I like that wrapper leaf, and I know you do too, because it's more in your wheelhouse of...
It is. It's more in my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're going to have other Tatuaje on here, but I think you would have had that Tatuaje on your list.
That would have been the first Tatuaje I'd have picked.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite Tatuaje that's on the list, but I think it's the most important one. And that's
Agreed.
why
Yeah,
I would
yeah,
have,
agreed.
that's why I would have picked
Yeah,
it. So,
agreed.
yeah, good pick.
Totally agree.
All right, so this is pick 4 and 5 for me. Is that right?
This is your 4th and 5th pick. Yeah. You'd be halfway through the list when you get this.
I am going to throw an absolute curveball.
Curveball, baby.
I mean a curveball.
Don't hang it because that'll knock your list right straight out of the park.
A curveball that you're not going to see coming because
man.
I have never even smoked this cigar, but I want it on my team.
Really?
And that is the Deadwood Dominicana.
Oh my gosh.
Now, I probably could have gotten that a lot later, but here's why I wanted it.
This would have been on my 10.
Okay.
I was trying to figure out where I was going to get cagey and sneak it in. I have smoked a cigar.
Yep.
In fairness, I wanted to try. I think I smoked it even at the trade show when it came out. And I'm gonna let you take and talk about it and your opinion on it. In whatever you smoke, that's fine. If you don't smoke Deadwoods, you don't smoke flavor stuff. I totally get it. The reality is, this is importance is a weird word when using cigars. But in the context of the cigar industry, this is an important cigar for Drew Estate.
Very.
To add this Connecticut shaded flavored cigar to an already wildly popular line and to hit an absolute home run with the customer base that buys that cigar is impressive.
Yeah, the reason I picked this is because this is my retailer pick.
So
right?
that's what
This
exact case I was going to make.
Yeah,
because
this is my retailer pick.
Of what sells in your shop has to play a part.
Yep,
has to play a part.
Yep. So this is my retailer pick for one of the best cigars that came out this year. Like I said, I ain't even smoked it, but that's because it's not my cup of tea. But we have sold the hell out of it. Oh. Everybody loves it.
Yeah.
It's Drew Estate knocking the kings of flavored cigars, putting out another flavored cigar, knocking it out of the park, knowing their customer base, knowing what sells. And it was one of those things that at the show when we got it, it was like we're just going to sell the hell out of this.
We knew immediately.
Yeah, I mean,
immediately what that cigar was going to do in our shop.
And it has it kind of rounds out the Deadwoods profile, in my opinion, or it's not profile, portfolio, in my opinion. I appreciate the fact that they didn't do a different name for all the sizes. Like, I like that it's just Deadwood Dominicana, because I think customers kind of get confused that Leather Rose and Fat Bottom Betty aren't the same thing, but they are the same thing. You know what I mean?
Yes,
yeah. So I think they just did a great job with it, and it will not make. I would be shocked if it made even Half Wheel's consensus cigars of the year, but that's not why I picked it.
It's not going to. It's not, and that's okay. It's not for the people who are rating these types of things.
Yeah, I just wanted it on my list because if we're building a team, like we've done in other cigar drafts, you can't, as a retailer, not take a flavored cigar.
Totally agree.
You just can't do it.
And I'm not gonna lie, it may outsell every single cigar that's on this list.
Yeah,
Because that's the reality when it comes to flavored cigars.
Yep.
You have to take into account that people purchase it.
Yep.
And, you could be a traditionalist and that is fine. But it's not because it's bad or that's ridiculous or stupid or whatever it may be. Like, the market is the market, and the market demand for that cigar is off the charts.
Off the charts.
Off the charts. Great pick. Would have been on my list. You stole one from me that I was trying to be cagey about. And for the exact same reason.
Yeah.
For the exact same reason you gave. That's why I would have picked it.
All right. So 5th pick for me is going to be my first really, truly personal pick. Like, this is just the cigar that I love.
Okay.
And that's the Tatuaje Mummy Redux.
Oh, it was going to be the Mummy. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
I almost picked Karloff because you know how much I love Karloff.
thought maybe you would have picked Karloff there,
But the reason I didn't pick Karloff is because Karloff has come out 3 times in the last 3 years now. It's been a different size.
Yep, different size. But
And the Robusto Extra was really good this year, but it wasn't my favorite size. I still loved it, don't get me wrong.
Yep.
But the Mummy is my favorite monster. By far, my favorite monster. And I thought that this rendition of it was just as good as it's ever been. I love the flavor profile, and it's a cigar that's like, normally I don't like a cigar that's that long. I get bored smoking it. I mean, it's almost 8 inches long. It just does it for me. Yeah, I mean, this is solely a personal pick. I even hesitate putting it on here, but like, it's Cigars of the Year that came out last year, and it was one of my favorites, and that's literally the only reason I'm
surprise
picking it.
and deserving to be on there, certainly. Yeah, no surprise. Would have figured that would have been 100% on your list. The only, we'll see when it comes to voting on it, just because it's a cigar that not people.
Yeah, not a
got
lot
to
of people
touch.
may have got to smoke.
Yeah,
it.
Yep. I don't. I smoked that, but I did not smoke Karloff, which was even more limited, I think, than the Mummy was. Right? Yeah. So I did not smoke that one. All right. So I have 4. So this is 5 and 6 for me. Okay.
Yep.
I am going with a couple mainstream heavy hitters.
I think I know what one of them is.
And one is super limited. I'll do that one first.
Yeah.
I smoked it. There was not a lot, and I thought it was fantastic. Now, whether they stumbled into this by accident and they're going to tell you like, hey, this was the plan or whatever, and you can kind of hash the backstory a little bit better than I can. I loved everything about the cigar. The cigar was fantastic. Price point, all the things, and wish it could be something more. The Don Carlos 90, the Fuente Don Carlos 90. Super limited. They call it a dual wrapper, right? It was a Corojo, or a Cameroon wrapped regular Don Carlos.
Yep, that
Correct.
they found that was supposedly aging.
That
the wrapper leaves looked a little off on.
Yep.
And so instead of tossing them or anything like that, they decided that they were going to do a double wrapper and put a Corojo wrapper on it. So Corojo wrapper over a Cameroon wrapper over Don Carlos.
If that story is true, which I'll take it at face value that it is, that's a great way of bringing out something new and unique.
Yeah.
And the fact that that was a one-time and one-time only thing. I think we only got, the odds are you didn't get to smoke it, unfortunately, because we had the one box of it, right?
It was just one box.
Yeah, and there was how many in a box?
90.
There was 90,
Yeah,
and
there
it
were
was
90.
okay. That's right.
Yeah, every store got some, but every store got like 15.
Yeah. Great cigar, cool concept. Like I said, if that story is how they planned it to, make chicken salad out of chicken shit kind of thing.
Yeah.
Thought it was well done, and something cool and unique that you don't always see. The other thing that's not limited, which I really, really like, and have smoked it quite a bit lately, and I will take it with my next pick, is the LFD Suave. I think that's another excellent core. Get it when you want it. Premium upper level experience of cigar.
Yep.
Again, may not end up being in the 5. Totally understand. But if you can come into one of the stores and get it, it's 2 wrapper leaves, correct? It's a
it's a Corojo and a Maduro.
Yeah.
Yep.
I prefer the Corojo. That's kind of what I'm picking here. But we'll keep them kind of together as the same thing. But it's mild, right? It's not a DL or something like that. I really enjoy it. It kind of brought me back to like, man, I do like LFD when it's available. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know what
absolutely.
I mean? Yeah.
Absolutely.
It felt, away from the super full, maybe LFD stuff that people are used to seeing, the dark. It's not that dark. The Corojo is not that dark, oily, almost slick looking wrapper like you see with some of the other stuff. But I really, really like it. This is almost probably a recency biased pick because I've smoked it quite a bit in the last couple of weeks. Just look at it like, I like the packaging. I like the banding. Yeah. It's classically good. I really like it. So I'm putting that on my list.
No, it's a good pick. All right. So this is pick 6 and 7 for me.
6 and 7. 6,
7. Oh, God help us. I am going to go with the cigar that surprised me the most for my 6th pick this year.
Let me see.
And it's something that we got very, very few of, and I only smoked one of, and that is the Flor de las Antillas San Andreas.
Dang, I thought that might be like it.
So, and here's why. We've talked about before that I am not the biggest smoker of the regular Flor de las Antillas sans the MAM size.
We didn't put the MAM on this list because the MAM has been around. It's new to us.
Yeah.
And it's not readily available outside of the market.
Yeah.
But it's going to go to what you, but continue your thought.
The reason I wasn't excited about it is because I do not care for the regular Flor de las Antillas Maduro.
I don't either.
I don't like it. I'm
not a huge fan of the regular San Andreas or the regular Flor de las Antillas sans the MAM as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So like I was like, we got a call and we were offered 5 boxes of both sizes. It was supposed to be a TAA thing, but I guess they had some left over and we got it. And I mean, every store only got a box and we were selling them. And then someone smoked it who I trust. And they said, wow, this is good. And I was like, all right, fine. I'll give it a go. Boy, howdy. Shocked me. I thought it was great. I thought it was well executed San Andreas. It wasn't just earthy, peppery. It had a great chocolatey, like mocha coffee thing going on with it. It had a great price point to it. I genuinely hope that they make it core line. Like if they just decide that next year their new core line is Flor de las Antillas San Andreas, I am here for it. I think it'll sell well. I really, really, really liked it. Like I just really liked it.
It's so wild that we've gone now. I think that makes 3 iterations in a row outside of the 2, because you have the regular Flor de las Antillas and then you have Flor de las Antillas Maduro.
Yeah.
And then the last they're not bad. So if you smoke it, that's not what I'm saying, but they're not my favorites by any stretch. Certainly if I'm hunting through my father, that's going to be near where I'm going to gravitate to. But 100 Años, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was excellent. MAM is awesome. And the San Andreas was awesome.
Yep.
And it's wild. The MAM one is the one that really perplexes me because it is supposed to be the same as the regular Flor de las Antillas. It's just not box pressed. And I just don't think it smokes the same. I need to really revisit the regular San Andreas, but I don't think that's the case.
Yeah.
So
I really liked it. And it's not one that I think, again, is going to be on many lists. I could be wrong about that, but I just don't think the availability of it was there. And I think because of the availability issues and it being a TAA thing, I don't think many consumers have been able to smoke it, unfortunately. I could be wrong about that, but I I thought they did a good job with it, and I'd love to see it go core. So that was my 6th pick. 7th pick is a cigar that I like.
Is that your 6th pick or your 7th pick? 1, 2, 3,
San
4,
Andreas
5.
was my 6th pick. Yeah, that was my 6th pick.
Okay.
So I'm going on my 7th pick.
Yep.
I'm picking, I don't know, I like this cigar. I don't know that this cigar would be in my top 10, but I'm picking it for the storyline.
Interesting. Okay.
All right. And I'm going JFR 20. Now, why do I say storyline here? Obviously, this cigar is celebrating the first cigar that Aganorsa kind of made for themselves and the JFR just for retailers, the 20th anniversary of it. We sell a lot of JFR. I smoke it on occasion. It's not bad. Great price point cigar.
Great price point.
The 20th anniversary. What's that?
Great everyday cigar.
Yeah, great everyday cigar.
Yep.
The 20th anniversary gets announced, and as we know, and I don't remember if this story was at the end of I think this may have been last year, that Foundation took the Wise Man.
Oh, right.
And
I wasn't sure where you were going with this, but yes.
And took the Wise Man and had it made at my father. So Aganorsa obviously still had the tobacco and the blend for the original Wise Man Maduro, and that is the blend that they used for the JFR 20th anniversary. I personally like the old Wise Man Maduro blend more than the new one, though the new one is more approachable for the average consumer.
Yes.
The old one is much stronger and full body and fits my palate better. But I thought it was so fascinating that they decided that instead of blending something new to celebrate their arguably most iconic line, they decided to use this blend to do it. I'm not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing. I just thought it was really fascinating, and it's a good cigar, but that is why I'm drafting it, was just because it was like storyline cigar of the year for me in just interest.
Yeah, I don't blame you there. And I think it's deserving to be when it's all said and done, of the 20 that, we feel like came out for sure. Yeah, I had no problem with that at all. So let's see, what am I at here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is 7 and 8.
7 and 8 for you.
Okay. So first off, I just got to get something out of the way because it's got to be on my list. It's got to be on the team. We're going to knock it out. You took it 1 with the shade grown, deservedly so. That's the best of the 3. But Perdomo Legacy Connecticut is on par with the shade grown. It needs to be on the list.
I really thought you were going to take that 2, if I'm being honest with you.
The reason I didn't take it at 2 is playing a little mental chess. I didn't think you were going to back it up with another one so quickly. So it allowed me to kind of sneak it in a little bit later. So great value here, right? Yep. I got a first round pick that maybe fell a couple rounds. You know what I mean? Maybe he doesn't have any off field issues, but maybe he did. You know, there was some rumblings, his mechanics aren't great.
Yep.
Awesome cigar. A company that sells a load of Connecticut's with the Champagne line, one of the most popular cigars on the market. And this, by far, their best Connecticut, in my opinion. Doesn't the other ones don't hold a candle to it, and that's not because the other ones are poor or bad. It's just something about this, the shade grown that they're putting underneath as the binder, that just elevates the cigar to another level. So it's got to be.
I don't disagree with you at all. And, we were talking with Cole about it yesterday. Cole likes the Connecticut more than the shade grown. It's funny. Most people that we've talked to prefer one or the other. The Maduro seems to be the third place one, and it's not because it's bad. It's just people seem to like one of the other two more.
The other two are far more unique, in my opinion, than the Maduro is.
Yeah, unique. I feel like the wrapper leaf on the Maduro kind of drowns out the flavor.
It dominates the flavor more so than the other two do.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think that's more unique. So that's number, what did I say, 7 for me? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, now we're getting into nitpicking time here, what we want to do here. I'm not going to take something. There's a couple things on here that I haven't got to smoke, so I am not going to take something like that. Oh, actually, I do know what I'm going to take. Another good core everyday quality cigar, one of the better ones that they've ever made, to be honest with you. And I think it's showing up on lists. This came to us, I think, right at the beginning of the year. It's not disqualified because it may even been like something at the very end of the previous. But I'm going to go with the Rocky Patel Emerald right here.
That is not what I thought you were going to take.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Interesting. Okay. A little surprise.
That's not what I thought you were going to take. All right.
Okay. I smoked it a handful of times. It's a good example of what a good Rocky Patel cigar could be. I know it's not everybody's flavor, and sometimes it's the only thing people smoke. You're right. Can be a divisive brand name, in my opinion. Some people, I think, will shrug at it or whatever you want to scoff at it if that's like it's like you're too mainstream if you're smoking a Rocky, and then some people live and die by Rocky Patel stuff. I think this is a good cigar. Maybe my favorite one that they've come out with in the last 5 or 6 releases that they've had. 30th is also a release on here, which is good as well. I like the Emerald a bit more, and it's also been, from a retail perspective, has been super popular. It's been in high demand. It's been really good. Really good. It's medium.
Yeah. I like it as well, and I feel like the problem with a lot of Rocky, in my opinion, is the flavors can run together a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's differentiated enough between like ALR and 30 and all that.
Yep.
To be its own thing.
Yeah.
It falls in line with kind of like Gold Label and all that, where they were headed in that direction. And we, like you said, that is one that we have consistently sold and reordered, and it's priced well. Like I think I would rather smoke a 30 over an Emerald if I just had the choice without having to worry about price.
Okay.
But the Emerald is priced fairly, whereas the 30, I think you're paying for the 30th anniversary title. Right?
Yes. Yeah. That, or if you're getting the limited, you're paying for a package.
Literally the tube. Yeah, literally the tube.
Yeah.
Right.
I like it.
Yep.
We're getting down to
nitty gritty. We're splitting hairs a little bit.
We're splitting hairs a little bit. I agree. So
Yep.
the kind of personal preference on that one for sure.
Yep.
Okay, so that's, what did I say? Oh, 7 and 8.
7 and
So
8
I got
for you.
2, and you got 3 left, right? You
Yep.
you got the first and the last pick. Ooh, you get to hammer down.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting.
I like having the last pick too. All right. Pick number 8 is going to be, man, we are splitting hairs.
That's
here.
what I mean. There's a lot of stuff.
We are
that
splitting
really,
some hairs.
not that
here.
these things are bad, but it's like, how do you're trying to find what's deserving
Yep.
to be on the list.
I'm going to put something that I thought I put on the list, but I don't see it on here.
Ooh.
And I'm going to write it down
Okay.
so I don't forget that I'm picking it. And that is the Warped Corto Maduro.
Oh, yeah, that should be on here. I wonder why it's not on here.
Yeah, I thought it was as well. I don't see it on here. I thought I'd
good,
put it on
good
there.
pull. That may have made my list had I remembered that was on
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Literally the only reason I did not pick it higher is because it's a little expensive for the size. That is my only complaint with the cigar.
Yep.
I really like it. I think it's got great flavor. It's a great, it's one of my favorite short smokes, and I'm a big fan of shorter smoked cigars just because, I got a kid, right? Working at the shop, want something to kind of close down the day, and you hadn't had time to smoke. We got 30 minutes. I found myself grabbing the Corto Maduro more than anything.
Yeah.
So that is going to be my 8th pick.
I like it.
My 9th pick, I'm oscillating between 2 right now.
Ooh.
I think. All right, I was gonna pick Karloff, but I'm not gonna do that.
Okay. Because it's been released so much.
Yes,
We would be kind of going against what we just knocked Cigar for sure.
correct. I am going to go with the Plasencia Amadeo Cielo, which for some reason is also not on this list, even though I know
I think
put
there's
it on
3
here.
cigars on this list that are missing that I'm going to name on the next one, I think.
Yep.
And that is 100% deserving, I think, to be on there.
And I'll be honest with you, it's another one where it would probably be a little bit higher on my list if it weren't for the price point.
Yeah.
And I will say that it wasn't as much on my radar again until the other day. I decided to smoke one again because I'd only ever smoked one. I smoked
It's
it
nice
when
to
we
go
got
back
it
and
in.
revisit.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'd smoked one when we got it in, and I thought it was good, but I was like, man, this is $30. Like, I'd
There was
rather
some
have
price
the
point
Fuego.
blinding going
Yep.
on with it, in my opinion.
But I smoked it again because Franklin actually told me he really liked it, and he thought it was a good competitor for the Davidoff Grand Cru line. And I was like, all right,
Interesting.
I need to smoke this thing again. And I smoked it, and I thought it was really good. Like, I thought it was
Yeah.
it kind of rounds out the Alma line. Now they may come out with another Alma, but it's not Connecticut. I'm pretty sure it's a Corojo wrapper, but it's a Corojo wrapper that's really light. It wouldn't surprise me if it is a Connecticut, but I'm pretty sure I read that it's Corojo. My phone's still not working, so I can't verify that, so I apologize if I'm wrong. But they knew what they were doing with it. They were going after that Davidoff market. It went that price point, but it was a good addition to their portfolio, and it's going to be on a lot of people's top 25 list. I wouldn't be surprised if it's not in a lot of people's top 10s. So,
Yeah. I agree. That needs to be on this list. That could end up being narrowed down to a 5 from people on our list. Certainly. Yeah. I think that's missing off of here for some reason. I don't know if Chat GPT stung me or something here when I put the list on there. Okay, so I'm going to ask for confirmation on this, and then I'm going to ask you to talk about it because I don't have my notes as to whether it's supposed to be on here or not. I love this cigar, but I can't remember. The black and tan.
So the Toro, yes, the Toro came out this year.
Okay.
That was the PCA really. The Robusto was last year. The Toro was this year.
Okay, that feels like cheating a little bit, so I'm not going to take it.
Okay.
So I am going to go. So this is my last two picks, right?
Yeah,
This
this
is 9 and 10
last
for
two
you, me,
picks,
and you? Okay. All right. There's a couple on here that I think deserve to be on the list, but I don't really.
Oh, shit. There's a big one that we both missed that's not on this list.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm looking back at our actual list that I sent you.
Yeah.
There's like 5 or 6 that
Name
I
them.
feel like should be on here.
Name them real quick. Throw them off. And
Nika, Connecticut.
okay. Oh, yeah, that's on here. What the hell?
Yeah, Nika, Connecticut. LFD 30. Pete Johnson 50th anniversary. You didn't smoke this, but the Johnny Tobacconaut 10th anniversary. Roma Craft Still Porcupine. Tatuaje 858. Actually, I think that's all of them.
Okay. Well, I can tell you right now, for number 9, I'm taking LFD 30.
Okay. Yeah, that was the one that I
Yeah.
saw. I was like, oh, man, if I'd have thought about that, I'd have probably taken that already.
Yeah, I'm taking LFD 30. If that deserves to be on here, awesome cigar.
Yeah, as much shit as we talked about it, They delivered on it at least.
It took, this could have been in the top 25 4 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know what anniversary they're on now, but it ain't 30. Let's put it that way. That deserves to be on the list. Awesome cigar. Awesome presentation. Coming to sick humidor. Shout out Kyle, who's got the one that we had.
Yep.
Great cigar. Definitely deserves to be on there for sure. I like the idea of Nika, Connecticut. That's a retailer pick for sure. I think it's a good cigar. It rounds out that line again with Drew. Really hit 2 home runs this year on core line, filling out a line cigars. I'm not going to take it. I'll leave it to you if you want to make that your 10th pick. I am going to go with, this is my last pick.
I have a curveball coming for you. So for my last pick. Unless you got a curveball hanging out there.
I'm going to take Aladino's 85th.
I like it. That's been on I think that was Coop's number 2 cigar of the year.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's going to be my last.
Okay.
Great cigar from them.
Yeah. It it was Aladino at their best. I think that's
So
the best way to say it, right?
I
Like
agree.
it was Honduran, authentic Corojo at its best. It was like a dialed back version of the
So interesting enough,
Reserva, in my opinion.
I'm not a huge fan. I have 2 Hondurans in my tent.
Yeah.
But they're 2 excellent representations
Yep.
of Honduran cigars, right?
Yep. Yeah, no, that's a good pick. And I think it deserves to be on here. I'll be interested to see if a couple of these that are probably like that one specifically and one that I'm about to say, and then like the Dominicana, like what our customer base, if they've smoked it, because that's not a cigar that we got.
Yeah.
Right. I'll be interested to see if they've smoked it, what they may think about it. But last pick of the draft.
Before you say that, was Aladino Cameroon Reserva last year too?
That
was
was
the
year
year before?
before.
That
That
was
was November the year before
Okay,
last.
okay, yeah.
And actually, now that you say Cameroon Reserve, that was Coop's number 2 cigar of the year, not the 85th.
And I think that's what I just picked. That's what I was thinking. When
You
I
wanted
said
Cameroon Reserve, and
That's
not the
what
80.
I was
I was a
thinking.
little surprised you picked the 85th because you didn't smoke it.
that. I was confusing it with Cameroon Reserve.
Okay,
I'm redoing my pick.
all right,
Because
that's fair. That's a technicality. This is fair.
Yeah,
this is fair.
that's what I had in my head when I'm looking at that.
Okay.
And I love the Cameroon Reserva. That's what I was thinking of because that was a limited as well, right?
Yeah, so the Cameroon Reserve was when we had Husto at the shop with
That's
Joel.
right. That's right. That's what I'm thinking of. That's what I'm
And
thinking
it was
of. And no knock to the 85th. I didn't smoke the 85th.
I did. That's why
Okay.
that's why I
didn't
put it
smoke
on the list.
85th. I can't
did
have that
smoke
on
it.
there. So I'm redoing my pick.
Okay. So Aladino Cameroon Reserva.
Well, does that qualify? I don't think it really qualifies.
I will say it
I'm
was a
gonna pick
very
something
good
off
cigar.
of it. Huh?
I said it was a very
It's
good
an awesome cigar, but I feel like it's the year before, and that would be kind of cheating a little bit.
cigar. Okay.
Because that was a release, I think, the year before.
Okay.
So here's where my head's at here. There's 2 sizes of Supreme Leaf on here, but they're both the same blend, I believe, on that. And it's just 2 different sizes.
Yep.
And if I'm being truthful with you, I liked the Toro more than I liked the Royal Perfecto. But I'm not sure that either of those would have been in my 3 favorite Supreme Leafs that they ever came out with.
Yep.
So I think that would be kind of an ill. I didn't smoke Vampire Dust.
You didn't?
I did
Okay, that
not.
was good.
And a lot of people really, really like that. Wise Man Lancero Maduro is on here. I smoked that and enjoy it. I like a Lancero, but not necessarily for me all the time. What am I going to do here?
I kind of want to telepathically send you one that I feel like could be on your list. I will say this while you're thinking.
You know what I'm going to go with?
What?
I'm going to go with JJ 20th.
I already picked it.
JJ 20th you did?
Yeah, I picked it 7th.
Oh, I thought you picked...
Oh, you said JJ. I'm sorry. You said JJ 20th.
Yeah, I'm going to do the JJ
I'm sorry.
20th.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Yes, JJ 20th.
Okay.
My father, again, another limited, which I'm not huge, when everybody gets to smoke them. Loved the presentation on it. Thought it was great. I like the regular line of JJ.
Yeah.
A lot. Thought this cigar was a great representation of my father, generally speaking. Like hit on the high notes and everything like that. And I smoked it a couple times because that was one of the limiteds from them that didn't really fly off the shelf. So we were able to kind of relax on those and enjoy them a little bit. So, but I am going to go with JJ 20th. Part of me, there was a handful of my father's stuff. I can't put El Rey on the list.
I can't either.
Because
I thought about it.
I thought I'm looking at it. I like it. I think it's good, but it's not what we had before. So like I'm blinded by that a little bit. So that's my list, and I'll let you go and do yours before we kind of rehash some of these honorable mentions that didn't make the list.
I'm going with my out of left field.
More out of
cigar
left
the
field than
year.
Dominicana?
Yeah, out of left field Dominicana was a left field pick from it that I haven't smoked it. This is my left field pick, most surprising cigar of the year. It's not on this list.
Oh, it's not on this list.
It's not. And that's the Chamali Blue Label.
Good for you. Chamali Blue Label. Didn't even cross my mind.
Yep. I talked about it so much. I smoked it one time, and it was the most just out of left field awesome cigar I've smoked in a long time. And I still hope that one day we can work something out with them to be able to carry their product. I still don't love the price point on it. I still do not know how it would sell. But for me and my flavor profile that I enjoy,
This will give you almost full
awesome.
year almost of talking about that cigar.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know. But that is why I wanted it on my list. And it's interesting to see what Fox Cigar has done, like we've talked about.
Yeah.
Like Fox Cigar brought them in right after PCA. Now they have a Fox Cigar Chamali exclusive. That is wild to me. Fox is not, they're not Atlantic, but they ain't small.
No, they're not small by any stretch. They're one of the biggest players in the country. And, they've gone out and done exclusives with some big hitters. They had their own Deadwood, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think
they had one of the Girl with No Names, I think.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that was done specifically for them. So if they fall in love with your cigar enough to bring it all in and then work an exclusive with you, that's a gold star to wear on your thing. Be super interesting if the Chamali guys are back at PCA. Yeah. I would almost guarantee you they are.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see if they get any. Well, one, they need a better booth spot. That booth spot was terrible. But two, I'll be interested to see if the traffic's a little bit better at the new spot. They're at the PCA this year.
I think it's got to be. There really has been some hype around them since that trade show.
Yep.
And maybe it's just because you really fell in love with it, and then the Fox thing, and maybe it's just the two companies, us and them, who kind of like, whoa, because it was such a random way to stumble upon them. We were in another meeting, and our dingbat rep was late and doing other things, watching his kid play baseball, and we're like, okay, we're literally. So we're like, well, you're like, I'm gonna go over and peek at this, and then they told you they get their tobacco from Aganorsa and somebody else, and then we mentioned that to Aganorsa, and they're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
which is wild. So yeah, I think there's gonna be a place for Chamali in the new spot when we have some humidor space and everything like that, even if it's a box or two of representation. But listen, I've never seen you get captivated by a cigar.
I know. That's why it had to be on my list.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Yeah,
that's why it had to be on my list.
Didn't even cross my mind.
Yep. That's why it had
That'd
to be
have been sick if I stole that from you. Now that I think about it,
I would have been
considering I never smoked it or anything like that.
Devastated.
Yeah, that would have been wild. Okay, so recapping in no particular order because I'm just going to go down by what you picked. Warped Corto Maduro.
Yep.
Plasencia's Elmo de Cilio. Chamali Blue specifically, right?
Yep.
Perdomo Legacy, the Shade Grown.
Yep.
The Illusione Eperde Tunello.
Yep.
Or Tunella, I should say. Tats the Mummy. New World Decenio. And then, let's see, you got a couple off the second page. You got JFR 20, Flor de las Antillas, the San Andreas release, and then Deadwood Dominicana.
I like my list.
That's a good list. I have LFD 30, My Father Blue, Perdomo Legacy Connecticut, the Tat 7th Corojo, the Fuente Don Carlos 90, Foundation's 10th anniversary, Aganorsa's 25th anniversary, LFD Suave, and Rocky Patel Emerald. And Rocky Patel Emerald, yeah. I got it next to Aladino, but I'm sorry, Aladino. That's and then My Father JJ.
Yep.
And that rounds out my list. So on here, a couple things, just from our list that, the honorable mention, the things that didn't get picked. Legacy Maduro. We did not pick the Karloff. Neither of the Supreme Leafs made it. And I think that reasoning for me is probably
It's the same thing.
why.
I liked both of them,
I thought both were good.
but neither of them were as good as the Rothschild from the year before.
Correct.
That if it was the Rothschild, that would have been actually a top 3 pick for me. I loved that size. Rocky Patel 30, which again, I think for both of us, that's probably a price point thing. Gellis Family Absolutos. You know, I thought about that one. That is producer Greg's. That is one of his favorite cigars from this year. And I like that cigar a lot. I think it was really unique. It's 100% sun-grown tobacco. I just, for whatever reason, haven't gravitated to it. And it's not because it's bad. It's just I don't find myself smoking it as often. Now, one thing I did not think about, and it just hit me like a freight train, when did Sarto come out?
Sarto was last year.
It was the year before? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I was about to say, because if Sarto was this past year and I missed it, then I'm going to kick myself because that would have been in my top 10. But I thought it was the year
feel like
before,
that's the year before. I'm pretty confident in that.
No. Okay. All right.
90+%. And then let's see what else. Wiseman Maduro Lancero.
Yep.
LFD Oro.
Yeah, I thought about that. The reason I didn't pick it is because it's a line extension. That was really the only reason.
Sober Mesa Red and Umbagog Bronzeback.
I didn't pick those out of spite.
Mainly because we're haters.
Yep.
Pork Tenderloin. Feel like that was good, but not as good as the original.
Yep.
And it feels like that's kind of what gets you on that one. El Dino 85th. The Roma Craft Baca.
Yeah, you know, and I the reason I didn't pick that. Did you smoke the Baca?
Yeah.
Okay. The reason I didn't pick that is because it was it wasn't a new cigar, but it was reblended.
Yes.
Right? It had a Marifel Cameroon wrapper on it instead of whatever Cameroon they were using before. I thought it was better than the old one, but it kind of went against the idea of what we were going for.
Yeah. And then last two that were on our list, EP Creo and Door. Good. Fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Maybe not
Yeah, it's fine.
up to the level of the other ones at past. And then the El Rey Habanos.
Yeah, and then the other ones that were on the list, we talked about Nika, Connecticut already. Pete Johnson 50th birthday cigar, price point.
Price point. I didn't smoke it. I think
Price point.
You did, yeah.
That is price point. Johnny Tobacconaut 10th anniversary. You didn't smoke it. I did. I thought it was really good, but not good enough to make top 10.
Yeah.
Roma Craft Steel Porcupine. I thought it was good. Again, it didn't, like, it's a good cigar. I'd smoke it again, but it wasn't top 10 in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then the Tatuaje 858, which honestly, and this is going to be controversial coming from me. 858, most disappointing cigar of the year for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I was really hyped up about it. Pete Johnson modeled it after the Partagas 858, the Cuban Partagas. I thought the packaging was awesome, old school Cuban. I just thought the flavor profile on it was a little all over the place.
Yeah.
I was expecting a much more Cuban-esque flavor profile like Escasos. The black pepper and the creaminess were just out of balance, in my opinion. Now, I still have some, and I haven't smoked one since we got them, but I thought that they were aged before we got them, so I shouldn't need to age it anymore. Plus, it was $25 a cigar. And I love Tatuaje, so the disappointment was even more so because I was looking forward to it so much. But that would be my most disappointing cigar of the year.
Can I ask a stupid question?
Sure.
Did we just miss Padron's 60th?
No, that came out the year before that because we smoked it for Robbie's birthday that year with Dave.
That's right. That's what it was. It was the year before.
Yeah, the only thing that Padron came out with this year that was legitimately new was a new size of Padron Black. And that was the 99, and it was a 60, which neither of us really smoke.
Yeah. Yep.
So.
Yep. So what we'll do, the reality is we're splitting hairs. Between the 20 that we have, the 5 that should be the 5 are on there, in my opinion.
I agree. And I'd be okay if any of those 5 got it for the most part. I think we've already said what the 2 we think are most deserving are.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
But
and I don't have any. I mean, we'll see if we can get some people to vote on this to give us our top 5, and they'll be our nominees for Cigar of the Year. But I think those 5 are on our lists.
Yes.
In one way, shape, or the other. So what we're going to do is we'll put these up on the internet one way or the other, get it out to everybody. You vote on it. We're going to do the Stogie Awards sometime in February. We'll do it live like we did last year. A lot of fun. Have some people coming in, hanging out, and do it like that. And maybe we can get some special guests and such. Will be a lot of fun. So we'll put them on the internet, figure out a way how you vote for them. We'll get it narrowed down, and then we'll have it live for our Cigar of the Year.
Yep. Yeah. Is there anything? I really wish I had service right now. My phone is still not working because I really want to pull up Cigar Dojo's list so far. They haven't announced their number one yet, but they've had some really like off the wall and interesting ones on there that we've not smoked. Like I'm trying to think if
that's
there's
the problem with me because we don't carry everything. We don't get the opportunity to smoke everything. So like you very well maybe listen to this or want to vote on this and have something that's like this has to be on there. But I don't feel right if we haven't personally been able to experience it, putting it on our list.
Yeah, I would be curious, and that's why I love Half Wheel's consensus because it compiles all of the big name list into one, puts points to them, and we have a good idea of what, no pun intended, the consensus is.
Yeah,
for what the number one cigar is.
Yeah.
Because one, it's good for us to know what other people are smoking that we may be missing out on.
Yeah.
But two, there were a lot of cigars last year. And there's just no way we could smoke all of them.
No way.
Right? And the other interesting thing about this is cigars are subjective, right?
Yeah,
Like,
this is a fun way of doing it. This is our list.
Yeah. That's exactly
we may have 10 different ones than we've got. That's fine.
Yep. But it's always fun to do. It's always fun to look back on, but I think we've got a good 20.
Yeah, I like it. We'll put a list out there. And we'll be back in a couple weeks with a new episode of some sort. Maybe we'll have it narrowed down to what that'll be before we're leading and kind of let people know.
No.
But otherwise, I mean, my list obviously dominates your list, but that's no big deal. Right. And shout out Cigar Aficionado for the content. You suck. Yeah, you beat me to it. All right, we're out. Peace.
See ya.
Yeah, between two burns, yeah, between two burns. Come and join the convo. Jason and Ethan here to talk, yo. Chillin' while we filling up the room with cigar smoke. Hey, between two burns, yeah, between two burns. This be the show that you like. We always keeping it hype. We got cigars and a mic, talking the pipe and the pint. Let's go.